Okay, so the moment you've all been waiting for. Okay, maybe not, but it was the moment that I've been waiting for. On August 20th, or at least that night, I had my first real lucid dream. It was pretty amazing. So the dream actually started out kind of crazy. I was on the set of the show The Nanny, and this was supposed to be season 1, episode 1. Apparently, in my dream, he had a nanny before Fran Fine. And this nanny had to leave because her mom had died. That's why he got Fran Fine as his new nanny. So, in order to cheer her up, because of course he's like super rich, he decides to bring Channing Tatum onto the set. Well, we're all in the kitchen. I'm sitting in the kitchen with them, and Channing Tatum comes in. He walks in through these big glass double doors at the back of the kitchen, and as he walks around beside me, I hold out my hand. I'm like, "Hey man, what's up?" So as he shakes my hand, I notice in his other hand he has a ball cap, and for some reason I recognize this ball cap as something that I've seen before, and then I recognize him, and I'm like, "Dude, you gave a speech at my college like just 2 weeks ago. We met not long ago. I shook your hand already. Like, do you remember me?" And he gives me this really confused look, and then I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm on the very first episode of The Nanny," which means that I have traveled back in time. So I'm actually meeting Channing Tatum for the first time, according to him. So I'm like, "Oh snap, you don't remember because I'm like a time traveler and you're not going to give that speech for like years down the road." So he's all excited. He's like, "Well, when do I give this speech?" And I'm like, "I think I'll keep that a secret. You'll just have to find out when you do it." And he's like, "Oh man." I'm like, "But it's so good to meet you again." He's like, "Yeah, you too." And we like hug, and the next thing I know, I'm like warped into my bedroom, like my childhood bedroom, and I come running down the hallway, and I run into the dining area, and my mom and my older sister are sitting over here, my little sister sitting over here, and I'm like, guys, I just met Channing Tatum." And I start telling them this story, and then I'm like, "Wait, time travel's not possible. It's not possible for me to be seeing you guys because I don't live here anymore." So I'm like, "Dude, I'm dreaming. I think I'm dreaming." And then I'm like, "Okay, I gotta do a reality check." So I count my fingers, but as I'm trying to count my fingers, it's like I'm in a video game and they start like glitching or something, like they're all wiggling around like crazy worms doing their own thing. And I'm like, "Oh," like I can't stand the sight of it. It's like creepy. And I turn back around, I'm like, "Oh my God, guys, I'm dreaming." So I get really excited, but of course, then I realize, wait, you guys don't see what I just saw happen to my hands. So I'm like, "I want to prove it to you." So I'm like, "Look," and I like stick my finger through my hand, and my mom and my older sister, their eyes just get big. They're like, "Oh," like they just saw me do magic or something. It was crazy how realistic your dreams really are. Even when you know that you're dreaming, your dream character is still acting like the real people. So it was just awesome. So then I'm like, "Oh my God, what should I do? What should I do?" And then I'm like, "I want to learn how to fly." So the instant I say, "I want to fly," my family starts to like levitate out of their chairs and like float towards the ceiling, kind of like that one scene in Mary Poppins, only all the furniture and everything stayed on the ground. So I look at my little sister and I'm like, how do you do that? How do you fly?" And she's like, "I don't know." Like she looked like she was just excited, but at the same time like terrified, like, how is this even happening to me? I'm not doing it. I don't know how it's happening. Like, oh my God. So I was like, "Dude, that's so awesome that you're still acting like you're a real person, like you don't know that this is a dream, even though I know it's a dream." So I'm like, "Okay, I've got to try this, right? So I kind of like start to kind of imagine myself floating, and I get a little bit above the ground, and then I try to take off, but I just kind of like start skidding across the ground and like bouncing and then kind of floating up a little and then bouncing and kind of floating up a little. And I'm getting kind of frustrated, and at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my God, like, how do I wake up? Like, what if I don't wake up? And I try to push that thought away, and I'm like, no, I can't think about that because then I might make myself wake up. But between that and the frustration of not being able to learn how to fly, plus the excitement of just like being in a lucid dream, finally it happened, I ended up waking up. Like, it was a slow fade out, and I was like, no, come back, go back to the dream. And then I'm like, I wake up and I'm just like, whatever, I don't even care. Like, it lasted a good like minute, and I'm just like smiling. I'm like, yes, I finally did it. I'm so excited. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So hopefully you guys can have a lucid dream soon, and I really want you to share that with me because I'm really excited about this topic, and I really want to hear about other people's experiences too. So till next time, see you later.